OFM is a content business. The whole business evolves around specific types of content. The more and the better your content is, the more money you make. Girl math. But if your content is shit, everything else fails. Everything you do is content. So how do we invest in content to actually make it make sense? Now, first of all, we have clothing. That means there are always certain outfits or viral outfits that will help your creators look more aesthetic, more attractive, more interesting, and highlight their strengths and hide their weaknesses. I gave you an example. This year is called the viral TikTok leggings. I think this must have been like 2022, 2023 when this was a thing. And as long as you made a video with that leggings and put it in the text, oh, testing the new viral TikTok leggings, every guy went crazy because they knew they were about to see some fucking cake. You know what I mean? So investing in clothing is one of the easiest ways, which is one of the most logical ways. You want to make sure you find clothings for your creator that make them look attractive, make them more aesthetic, and make them look interesting, at least, right? Because it may not be your main target of the day to find good clothing for a creator, but it's your responsibility. Because if your creator doesn't look attractive, looks boring, then you won't get any views. So you have to find a way to influence that. The easiest way is tell your creator, hey, I need like 10 more leggings, I want to try some out. Just search for leggings that you like. Here are a couple ideas that I'd like to include. And she's going to just do the shopping for you. Women like that anyway, right? But clothing, one of the best ways you can do. And also if your creator doesn't have any clothing, this is going to be the #1 priority. Because like I said, hard to get views if your creator looks like she's wearing a burqa or looks like she's straight off of a fucking rave. All right, next up are locations, filming locations for your content. What does that mean? You want to make sure that your video backgrounds and the places where you record the videos are, again, aesthetic, interesting, hooking, keeping the people on the video and giving some form of entertaining aspect overall. So if you film videos in front of a white wall, the first place to spend your money might probably be to invest in some fucking location where you can at least record, right? Rather it be just building up one corner of the room and sort of like a TikTok IG-ish way with a couple of plants, maybe a TV, maybe some interesting accessoires, right? Some gaming. If you have an e-girl, for example, you can put the typical e-girl background with merchandise of games, movies, series, pop culture. There's a bunch of shit you can do, even renting out locations, renting interesting Airbnbs, going to a gaming arcade, to a, let's say, random gym in this city that has specific LEDs. All of these locations you can think of. If you want to spend top tier money, you can even fly them out to Thailand and do videos on the beach. Always performs. But spending money on locations is a very, very important thing that you want to master. Next up are gimmicks. Items that you can use for the content. Items that give your content a specific way of being unique. We recently got our creators VR headsets, not the specific one, I think it's not out yet, but using a VR headset is something that you can build a lot of content around because it's interesting, it's trending, right? So just buying a creator a VR headset, saying, hey, you did great work, here's a VR headset, be happy. You also improve the creator motivation, cheat code, but now you have at least 20 different video ideas involving VR headsets, right? You can do the research, what type of VR headset content is out there. It's crazy video ideas. The same as accessoires for their outfits, right? If you have a golf girl, alt girl kind of creator, buy them like a choker, buy them some golf accessoires you can find on Pinterest, you can find on the internet if you Google for 5 minutes. All these different gimmicks that just spice up your content and potentially give you a whole new content idea. Buy them a fucking PS5 and do like 50 videos about gaming being involved in a certain way. Buy them a fucking dirt bike if you want to spend top tier money on like a high performing creator. You can go, there's no limit, you can go that high. But invest in gimmicks. Next up is lighting, obviously one of the more obvious things, right? Obviously, lighting is one of the easiest ways to make your videos look top tier. You can have a shit-ass location, and with ambient lighting, a good light ring, and the right angle, your video will look like Iman Ghazi filmed it himself. So, using ambient lights, which is something, they cost nothing. They cost like 30 bucks. Ring light for your phone to be in with nice front lighting, which is the first thing you should buy, arguably, costs what, 20 bucks. So even with $100 investment, you can spice up your locations and your videos, your overall content, because again, content is everything. Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, TikTok, OF, banner, profile pictures, scripts, PPVs, mass messages, everything's content. So spicing up your location with these little investments is gonna have a major ROI. Last thing is obviously the camera himself. Now, some creators require very professional looks, right? High quality 4K filming with super great lighting. Some creators work better when the videos look unprofessional, like a normal girl would do them, right? Some creators don't work that well with a super high camera because it makes them look unauthentic. Now, Either way, you want to have at least a certain quality, meaning whether you buy an iPhone 16 to film great content, whether you buy a professional camera to go one step further, test it out, especially for the OF stuff. It doesn't matter. Investing in your video quality, easy game. I think that doesn't need explanation. At least it needs the least one.